Hi, folks. It's Brad with We Be Fishing, the viewable podcast right here on YouTube. We're glad to have you. We're a spin-off version of the B&T Catfishing Adventures channel. So if you go ahead and you subscribe now, you get both We Be Fishing and the B&T Catfishing Adventure channel. Again, thanks for dropping in today. We're talking about blue catfish. Oh, man, those things are fun to catch and they can be huge, huge fish. And, here in North America, those are basically the biggest fish that you have a shot at. Now, the flatheads out here, catfish can get very big, but the blue catfish, that they're kind of like the king down here in some of our waters. Now, they are a natural fish here in the Mississippi River and the Ohio River, and they are wonderful to catch. They are great to eat too if you have certain waters where it's clean enough and you trust safe enough to go ahead and eat those fish. Then those are just absolutely great fish. Now, the problem comes in some places where they're not native and they're seen as invasive. Now, in 1974, I believe it was in Virginia, they introduced these fish to some of their bodies of water there. Now, they brought this to them up there to try and increase, fishing and sport recreation as well as food and so forth in the area. But these fish have made their way into, for instance, the Chesapeake Bay. They're definitely considered a non-native invasive fish. And what's going on right there, many people wish these things that they could just wipe them all out, just destroy them all. And these things are very aggressive eaters. They will eat just about anything, and they're hurting the native fish and species there in the waters there in the Chesapeake Bay. They're eating the crabs. They're eating, the other native fish there. They're winning out over the food sources of what some of these native fish. They're eating the stripers and the herring and the shad. They're eating all those things up, and it's causing quite a problem there. So the question is, are blue catfish basically something that are good for our bodies of water, or are they just, a disaster? Are they a menace to our waterways? Now, one way to think about this is, and this country or the world is set to have, and we're already basically in a food shortage issue. So, is by having these fish that grow to extreme sizes and they reproduce really, really quickly, is it actually good to have these things in our waters? Although they may be beating out some of the other species, if they grow larger, could it be a better food source for our country and possibly or potentially the world by having these fish in our water? Obviously, we need things that are going to reproduce quickly if we're going to use them as a food source. Now, I love to eat crab. Don't get me wrong, but is it better that we would have these fish, maybe, for instance, than the crab? Now, I know they're, like I said, they're eating the striper and they're eating all these other type fish as well, but I don't know. Is this something where in some of these areas, should the blue catfish be eradicated, if at all possible, or should it be maintained? Should the regulations be greater? Possibly for a year, any blue catfish you catch in that area or those areas where they're uh, overtaking everything, should every fish that it's caught be removed from the water, either harvested for consumption or thrown up on the bank to die, just to thin these out a little bit. Regulations obviously need to be applied just like for hunting. Sometimes hunting for deer, for instance, they increase the amount of deer in which you can harvest per year, or they reduce the amount of deer you get. Same way on our waterways, we need to have these restrictions as well, and we do. But sometimes in situations like this, where it gets a little extreme with the amount of fish and their growth, do we need to take more drastic measures? I don't know. You know, there's, like I said, these are wonderful fish to eat. They're fantastic fish to catch. If you're into catfishing, they're just a wonderful, wonderful fish to have on the end of your line. And I know, you know, they're one of my favorites for sure. And for many of you, I know they're your favorite as well. But we would like to hear your solution. If you have a solution to the problem of these fish that are becoming invasive, we would love to hear it. I'm sure everybody is open to the possibilities of these, you know, these things and ways to create solutions to the problems of these fish that are just taking over and destroying maybe the natural habitat and wiping out some of the native fish and things in the waters there, maybe the mussels and, like I said, the crabs and so on. So we'd love to hear your answer. If you think you know, nothing should be done, that these fish, now that they're in these waters, should you know, be left alone. Let them do their thing and become king of the waters there. Again, they become a great food source for the people in the area and or for the commercial fishermen to catch and maybe transport them to wherever they need to be sold at. So anyway, I'd like to hear your thoughts on the blue catfish, and if you think they're kind of a blessing to the water or just a menace that's destroying things. Let's hear your take and see what you think on this subject. Folks, I hope you enjoyed this. Hopefully it made you think a little bit about this, maybe in a way you hadn't thought about it before. And, but, you know, we're looking for solutions there. I know a lot of people in the Chesapeake Bay area would love to hear your thoughts on what they can do to minimize the damage that these fish are being done. Folks, you take care. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. And again, thanks for watching. We so appreciate it. Give us a thumbs up if you would, and we'll see you next time right back here on We Be Fishing. You guys take care.